Yeah, that's fine. Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, so we were seeing the 13th chapter, seventh verse, and the various values. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshantir, Arjavam. Acharya Upasanam, Saucham, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha. This much we saw. Any questions or any clarifications you all have, or it's all fine? A pretty simple values, attitudes that you have, so that this knowledge, you can gain the knowledge, number one. Number two, once having gained, it can abide in you. You have your nishtha in that. Okay. So, going further, okay. The 8th verse. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. Okay. A certain objectivity with respect to the objects of the sense organs. Indriyasya arthaha, objects of the sense organs. Teshu vairagyam, an objectivity. Not giving them too much of importance. Appreciating their objective value. It is not meant to deprive yourself of anything, but to bring in a certain balance and objectivity in your life. To give an example, anyone here who doesn't like sweets? Whether like this nice hot jalebis. Everyone likes it. No? Then what would vairagya be? To recognize that sweets are eaten for the tongue, not for the sake of the stomach. You have a healthy meal and have a little bit of sweet. Fine. That brings a certain amount of objectivity. Like that, with respect to everything that is there. Having a sense of objectivity. You appreciate its values, appreciate its limitations. You don't expect to gain fulfillment from any one of them. They are not meant to give you that. They are only meant to give you some joy, some pleasure. That's it. This with respect to everything. Yeah. Even extended to people and relationships. Now, one modern thing I hear from couples and relationship. This relationship is not going anywhere. It's a very famous statement I hear. Ask them, where do you expect it to go? You all love each other. You have emotional companionship, physical companionship, everything is there. Intimacy is there. What more are you expecting out of it? No, Swamiji, everything is fine, but what? What are you expecting from it? Tell me that. You are expecting more than what it can deliver. Yeah. I mean, if you have a good relationship, you love each other and you're providing each other with nurture and support, intimacy. What more do you expect? What more do you expect? I mean, if you have all this, it's a great marriage, okay? It's a great relationship. Yeah. But we are expecting a total fulfillment from that relationship, which is not meant to. This is what it is meant to give, and it is giving that. Therefore, you have an objectivity. I don't have job satisfaction. Another thing. Big thing with respect to jobs. Oh my God. Do you like what you do? Yes. And the present job, are you learning something new on a regular basis? Yeah. Good boss? Okay. Colleagues? Yeah, good. Seniors? Fine. Juniors? Okay. Salary? No, not bad at all in today's world. Then, what else do you want from that job? You have a chance to grow. You are learning new things. You are getting reasonably good pay. Bosses, colleagues, friends, all are good. What more are you expecting? I'm not satisfied. Yeah, that dissatisfaction with yourself, it is not with respect to the job. When you recognize that, the moksha ichha will start. The desire to gain moksha. Because the total fulfillment that you are looking for will come there. So with respect to other things in life, you have a certain sense of objectivity. And if you have that objectivity, you can deal happily with whatever is there. Like years ago, I was taking a class in South Bombay. The class is still on. So this rich businessman said, Swamiji, where are you going after the class? I said, I'm going to the station. No, I was going to meet my mom, who was staying with my sister. Said, I'm going to Prabhadevi. Swamiji, can I drop you? My class was on Laburnum Road, Gamdevi. Can I drop you there? I will get a chance to talk with you also. So I said, fine. So he came, he was dropping me in his car. He said, Swamiji, Bhagavan ne sab kuch diya. I have more money than I know what to do with it. I said, very good, you are in a good position. But it is not giving me any peace. I said, since when was money supposed to give you peace? Money is what money does. You gain a financial independence to do whatever you want to do with that money. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. But peace is not a result of money, isn't it? Peace is your inner disposition, with or without money. But the guy was expecting that. Probably in his younger days or in his growing up days, childhood days, they had worries of financial worries. So he expected them to vanish when he made it. But it doesn't vanish. Worries come from so many sources, if not something other. Like everyone is worried about the virus. Slowly that worry is going away. Because the latest variant, everyone is getting it. If you get it and you survive, then you are not worried anymore. This is Vairagyam, that objectivity with respect to things. Yeah. But we don't. There will be at least a few things in our life where we expect joy, fulfillment from them. It may be things, it may be a house, it may be your artwork, it may be what you are doing, it may be your job, it may be your relationship, it may be your children. You really expect fulfillment from your children. When they are babies, sleepless nights. And when they become babes, more sleepless nights. Yeah. When they get married, etc., you worry for their marriage. Forgetting that half the problems is because you are interfering too much. Let them be. Let them work it out. Yeah. So, That fulfillment you are not going to get from anywhere. Yeah. Fulfillment is your Swarupa. That's why you are searching for it. But since you don't know that, you are looking for it elsewhere. So that Vairagya is that objectivity that you bring into looking at all these things in your life. And say, this is what it is meant to give, and it is giving me that enough. More than that, I look for direct moksha. Atma Jnanam I look for. I don't look for moksha in these things. So this attitude, Indriyartheshu Vairagya. Okay. Anahankara evacha, he says. Anahankara. Now you will always, ahankara is your sense of I. Anahankara, not having a sense. No, not having a sense of I is not to be taken literal. Okay? Because you will always have a sense of I. Even after wisdom, you will have sense of I because you have to teach. Na? I am teaching somebody. Na? I will always be there. But not to be an egotist. Egoism. That is the issue. Not having ego issues in a thing. Yeah. Not to have an ego issue. Yeah. And it is that excessive ego which creates problems in all your functioning. This is a very strange combo, because to be a good student of Vedanta, you need a healthy self-esteem. At the same time, we think having an ego is part of the self-esteem. No. Ego is pseudo-self-esteem. Self-esteem is based on your sense of self-respect, on your sense of self-efficacy. We have seen that before in our workshops. Those who have missed it, please go and see the definitions of it on the Vedic Wisdom website. I have put it all up. What is self-esteem, what it calls for, 8 workshops on building up self-esteem, I put it on there. Okay, yeah. So if you have an exaggerated notion of your self-efficacy, then you will have any sense of ego. And that comes from your ignorance of your own limitations or your ignorance of other people's capabilities. Yeah. Ego comes from ignorance. Yeah, we all heard ego issues come with knowledge. No, ego issues come with ignorance. Like I used to deal with street kids, and I would ask them, काम करेगा? महीने का 5,000 मिलेगा. हाँ साहब करेगा. Because 5,000 rupees is a big sum for them who are surviving on the streets. क्या काम करेगा? सब कुछ करेगा. Now I know if I have to teach him something, I have to take him down a peg or two. So I'll put him in front of a lathe machine or a drill or something. And the chala machine, सब कुछ करेगा ना. He will look here, there. सब yes, मेरे को नहीं आते चलाने को. But you had said you can do anything. Now what? Then I'll tell him, सीखेगा? हाँ साहब. The moment he recognized his ignorance, that ego came down. Now the possibility of teaching him exists. No guarantees, possibility exists. You're dealing with street kids. They are survivors and they have to survive by their wits. So, that keeping the ahankara in check. That is why in the self-esteem workshop I also add one aspect called having an altar of surrender. Somewhere where something you will take as higher than yourself. It can be the Lord, it can be your family guru, whatever, it can be the nation, Desha Bhakti, anything, an altar of surrender. They'll keep the ego in check. Okay. That doesn't mean you become namby-pamby and useless without a sense of self-assertiveness, etc. No. You're assertive, all that is true. One sign of ego is not being assertive, but being aggressive. My rights matter, your rights I don't care about. That's the very nature of aggression. The submissive person also has an ego, a problematic ego. Your rights matter, my rights don't matter. That mind requires a little bit more work. Yeah. Such people gravitate towards spirituality, but a lot of work has to be done before they can become spiritual. Yeah. Like somebody told me something just last week. If I want something for myself, I feel guilty. I said, wow. I thought that belonged only to my generation or older. I didn't expect that with the younger generation. Okay. Yeah. So I asked, don't you deserve the good things in life? And the person couldn't say a confident yes. I'm not saying somebody is going to give it to you. You have to earn it. That's a different thing. Good things in life, you have to earn. It won't come by sit. There is no Santa Claus available to give it to you. Okay. Fairy godmothers exist only in comic books or in fairy tales. Yeah. But as a rule, do you not deserve the good things in life? Yeah. So that balance, when you become assertive, you respect your rights, you respect the rights of other people around you. That's a beautiful way to live. Respecting your rights, respecting other people's rights. Automatically the ahankara is kept under check. Because you're respecting the other person's rights. No? And you're respecting your rights also, so you're not going down in it. You're not becoming submissive. Out of love and affection, you may give in to certain things. That's a different thing altogether. That's a different thing. Out of your compassion, that's a different thing. That's a choice you're taking. That's not out of helplessness. Yeah. Yeah. Like the mother of a newborn baby is not going to tell the baby, hey, I also deserve my night's sleep, okay? So you better shut up for 8 hours. You can say if you want to, it's not going to work. That's an entirely different picture. We are talking of adults here, okay? And children also, when you bring up children. Make them respect other people's rights as well as their own. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't teach them to respect other people's rights, you are bringing up brats. If you don't teach them to respect their own rights, you're setting them up for being bullied, exploited, etc. in school. So, strike that balance in the two. All this will come under anahankara, okay? Not being an egotist. It's a big picture. Okay? Anahankara evacha. Then comes a very, very beautiful value. Okay? Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Janma and mrityu, birth and death. My birth, my death. Okay? Jara vyadhi dukkha. The dukkha that comes from birth, death. Jara, old age, vyadhi, illness. Dukkha anudarshanam. To keep remembering that. To keep seeing it and remembering it. to see it very clearly. Very important. You live well only when you have confronted your own mortality. I was lucky I could physically confront it very early in my life. It changed my whole life. Have you not read stories of people who had near-death experiences and how it changed their whole life? Why? Because you really start living only when you are aware of death. I'll give you an example. Supposing, we ask for volunteers. We are going to get back to them, okay? For our retreat center, etc. Now, supposing I call these volunteers, some of them, and I'll tell you all, hey, I want this thing done, please. Can you do this for me? Say, yes, sir, you will do. By when do you want it? Whenever you can. Tell me, when will it be done? If I say whenever you can, when will it be done? The boss in the corporate sector gives you a project and says, sir, when do you want it by? Whenever you can do it. Why? Because there are so many other things to be done that this will get pushed into the background. It will be done only if you have a deadline. No? Old habits from school. Before the exam, sit down and study. 1 month before the exam, start mugging, burning the midnight oil, everything. But that habit continues. Without a deadline, nobody is going to do anything. Now all of us have a deadline in life. There's a finito. We are not going to live endlessly. Therefore, you will value the time you have. You will value the time you have to focus on what is important to you. You value the time you have to focus on what is really important. You will get in better touch with your priorities of life. I think in 2017 we had the camp in Coimbatore. Some of you were there for that Coimbatore camp, where we actually did this as an exercise. Want to try it out right now, that exercise? In a milder manner? Okay. If you have a piece of paper, pencil and paper with you, I'm sure all of you will have. Yeah. If you don't have, please get it. This will work best if it is live, but it can work even like this. Okay. Actually, for this I should be drawing it myself and doing a screen share and everything, but those skills are limited in me. So what I would like you to do is draw a line on your paper, one straight line. That is from your birth to now. The line begins with your birth, ends with now. However long you think you lived. The length of the line is up to you, purely subjective.
I will get a bigger paper.
Yeah. And this is a warm-up exercise, okay? It's a warm-up exercise. On that line which represents your life from birth to now, put in half a dozen memories, half a dozen of your important memories. Maybe when you finished school, maybe when you saw the birth of a sibling, first job, your first love. Nobody forgets that. Don't worry, you don't have to tell who. Because you may not be with that person right now. Rarely are you with the person who is your first love anyway. Simple. Now this half a dozen, simple, they're just your memories. This is a warm-up exercise. Okay. Now, if you have finished that, just half a dozen, I don't want more than that. Okay, let's make it like more like a workshop. Does anyone wants to tell me what they have written?
I can start.
Okay, sir. Adi.
So, I mean, like, I started from the beginning. So, the first memory I have written is like, I have purchased a diamond necklace. It's not the actual diamond necklace for my sister.
Okay.
As I am aware for her birthday. That was my first memory.
Okay.
Second is like, once she got lost and I had took back her to home, shown her all the paths. The third is, Dad has gifted me a bicycle on Dashera.
Wow.
And I was asking if there is a reverse gear in that. How can I go back?
Okay.
And then I have written my train travel. I mean, like, in those days, we used to stay in Surat and we used to come to Andhra. So it used to take almost 2 days or 2.5 days to reach to the village.
Okay.
And that train journeys are very memorable for me as a child.
Okay.
So I have written those much, but I can continue further. Do you want me to continue?
You are in for big trouble.
I know.
You are not written where you met your wife, when you met your wife, when you had your first child.
But that is coming. I'm still at...
Okay, that is coming in. Okay, then no problem. Okay. Now this is just a warm-up exercise, okay? Just a warm-up, nothing else, no big deal about it. You can write any memory, okay? Okay.
So I thought it's on a timeline, right? Like,
Yeah, just sort of whatever, just a warming up. Now draw a second line, that is from now to the end. I will define the end for you all. Okay? From now to the end, and your two choices for the end. Those of you who want to be really spiritual, the end is literally the end, your death. Those who feel that, Arey yaar, Swamiji, thoda shubh bolo na. Because sometimes I find some people thinking like that. Those who feel like that, you can choose your 50th wedding anniversary as the end. I am not equating 50th wedding anniversary to death. I am not equating that. But I am just choosing a happy event. You've been married 50 years, that's something big. Okay. So choose whatever you want. Okay. That's just the line. Now if you notice, you can fill this line with anything you want, no? From today to that end, you can fill it with anything you want.
okay.
Even if you feel, I am 80-year-old now, abhi end is literally end only. I may not have more than 10 years, 5 years, whatever. That doesn't matter. That 5 years you can fill with whatever you want, no?
So basically not memories, but this is...
This is what you want for the future. Now, how will you decide that? We use 4 mirrors. And I'm going to describe a scene for you. Okay? If those of you who have chosen death, excellent. You have the courage to think of literal death, very good. Just imagine. Now you have to visualize this, okay? That you are dead. They are having a prayer meeting for you, a Shok Sabha. And 4 people are going to talk about you. Now the 4 can be your child. He is going to be around. Your partner, one of you is going to go first anyway, so likely. Partner. Don't say my father, he is not going to be around. Okay, when you are gone, chances are not there. Okay. Your best friend and a colleague. Those of you who are young, don't choose me. Now, these four, you can replace one with the other if you want. One with anything else. Okay. Like if you don't have a partner, you can replace it with someone else. Only one thing. Those of you who are young here, don't replace it with me. I may also not be around. Those who are below 40, if you replace it with someone, with me, I won't be around. I'm supposed to have a long life, but still, I don't think I'll be living that long. So choose these four people. First choose these four. Then I'll tell you what's the next step. Have you chosen four? If you are not planning to have a child, for example, replace with someone else. Someone younger preferably. So that you get a good perspective, an all-rounded perspective. Nephew, niece, student, anyone can do, yeah. Now, these are the four people who are going to talk about you. Whether it's a Shok Sabha or your wedding anniversary, 50th wedding anniversary. Old man and wife is sitting there. 50th wedding anniversary, you expect to be old. No? Even if you married at 25, you will be 75. You can't call yourself young after that. Okay. So, these four people are going to talk. Do you have any clue what they may say? Like my friend may say, he was a champion. He not only confused people, he confused corporates, he confused everyone who came to him. He may say that. I don't know what he's going to say. How do I know? My Guru Bhai may say, yaar kya sadhu tha ye, most unconventional sadhu I ever seen. Champion tha ye. Most likely he will say that. Now what I am trying to say is, you don't know what they will say. But listen carefully here. What would you like them to say? Big difference. What would you like them to say? So on each of these four characters, write 1 or 2 points right now. The exercise is not over now, but at least 1 or 2 points what you would like them to say. Don't tell me I don't know what they will say. I know you don't know. But what is it that you would like them to say? Like as an example, I would like my student to say, he was very compassionate and caring, but he wouldn't hesitate to kick my butt if I did something wrong. I would like them to say that. Okay. Not easy, na? Yeah, what to write is not easy.
Swamiji, can I ask the question?
Yeah, sure, sir.
Swamiji, I
Yeah.
don't know what others will think, but do you, I'm thinking that would I not be bound by that expectation after I start to, like if I think that, or if I start to expect that this is the way I would want my friends to remember me, or
Yeah.
my children to remember me, would it not be something which will bind me,
Not
or I
really.
will start expecting it to
No,
happen?
because this is not meant, this is only meant for what this value can give you. It is not meant for the whole moksha picture. What this value can give you. Okay, I'm sure everyone has written 1 or 2 points, so you know what to do. Can anyone just share, one person? I saw a couple of people writing very furiously. Like Shaboni was writing very furiously. Just 1 or 2 points.
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to put my thoughts. So, daughter, I hope she says that loving and caring mother. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, but what you would like, yeah.
Yes. And music was her life. She was dedicated towards music, Husband, as I'm writing, I'm smiling to myself. I don't know, he's not that kind of an emotional person, but I don't know, probably I would want him to say, I don't know how I can go on without her, something like that. But I
Okay.
don't know, he's
That
not
that she
that
misses you.
word.
Yeah, that she
Yeah.
misses you. Yeah.
Yes. So,
Okay.
then a friend, a very dear friend, I was just trying to put those thoughts together. Lost a dear friend, someone whom I was close to. So it's very general things. But I guess daughter and husband, then you wonder what, are you doing the things, right things? So what would they really say when you're gone?
I don't want to hear what any of them will say about me.
I know, it really puts you in a place of what did I,
Yeah.
am I doing everything right?
Yeah. Now, why did I make you all do this exercise? Because in the Vyavaharik world, in the functioning world, what you would like them to say is what you would like to be. In the functioning world, not with respect to moksha, etc. That also you can write. I am taking moksha as a given goal for all of you, ultimately. That's why I'm not asking you to write on that. I'm taking that everyone who's attending, who is stuck with this class for so long, will have that as an ultimate goal anyway. Okay? So the question would be now, if this is what you want to be by the end, naturally my life should be from here, the second line. I should be filling it with those type of things, no? It helps me get in touch with what is important in my life.
Swamiji, can I add something?
Yeah, Devanuj.
So, Swamiji, it also helped me reflect upon what I have already done towards fulfilling that goal. So
Yeah.
it is not what I want to do, but what I'm already doing, and maybe I'm not that conscious about it.
Correct.
To own it up in that sense.
Correct. So in some ways some things are set. So in this line that is you there for the future, certain things are set. Like for example, you are an engineer, that is set. But you are an engineer who went to the corporate field, came back to the academics, and did your doctorate in it. So that much modification you made. Very few engineers go for a doctorate and get into academics. But you did that. So that was a change in priorities, isn't it? So when you do something like this, you get in touch with what is really important to you. I have had people who took this exercise seriously, changing careers, changing jobs. Yeah.
Swamiji, can I share something?
Yeah, Lalita.
Yeah, I remember maybe more than 20, 25 years back,
Yeah.
You and Uday sir did this workshop.
Yeah,
in one
yeah.
of the workshops.
Yeah.
And I want to share with all these people
Shoot.
how this brought about a change in my attitudes, in my values, in what I am today. Is a result
Yeah.
part of that. So I just wanted to share that how it helped us
Yeah.
tremendously
Correct.
to grow.
Because Lalita has been learning from my Guru Bhai, Uday Acharya, for a long time. And she's come to my classes also. Some of the workshops we used to do jointly. And,
All together.
and this workshop with Uday and I used to do was 25 years ago, right?
Oh, you're more than that.
More than that. But it made a difference in your life.
But it brought 25 years to me.
Yeah.
So many years
Yeah.
I
Work towards that. Yeah.
worked on us. And tremendous results.
Yeah.
Thanks to both of you.
Thank you. So this is not about 5 years, 10 years. This is about having that sweep of vision. That's why I said 50th wedding anniversary or your own death. Yeah. So what is it that I am going to do today to lead towards that? Because this is about your functional life. This is not, and moksha is part of that. So who will talk about moksha and your moksha goals? Your co-students here. Yeah. Other seekers on the path. Okay. Your child may also talk about it. You're so spiritual, you know. She said, I'll never miss a class as far as possible. They would say it. Yeah. Because your children notice. Yeah. So, this gives you an idea. This value, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. Dosha Anudarshanam. He says between birth and death, you have limited time. About 50, 60 effective years. First 20 years goes in preparation. So even if you are 80, 85, 20 years gone in preparation. 1/3 of your life you are sleeping. In between illness, etc., you can't do much. Then what is the time available for you? Out of that 50, 60 effective years, also only 30, 40 is available. Oh my God. Yeah. It gives a sense of value and urgency to your pursuits. You will not be wasting your life then. I don't have to talk about time wasters in my time management workshop. Why? Anything that doesn't fit into your priority is a time waster for you. I have a cousin, much younger than me. You know, when the TV serials come on, he ignores them. When the advertisements comes, he watches it very keenly. You know why? Guess why does he do it?
Is he into advertising?
He runs an advertising agency, right? So that is important. That is work for him. It's important to know what the competition is doing, to see what type of things are coming up in the advertising field. Serial is not important for him. You decide how do you want to spend a day. So this is a good exercise. All of you can work on it. I just gave you an introduction to the exercise. All of you can work on it and really see what is really important for you. See, when you are in school, people will ask you, what do you want to do after you finish school? Where do you see yourself 10 years from today? That's all fine at that age. Now we are spiritual students. I'm sure many will not be able to say where do they see themselves 10 years from today. So having a big picture helps. Okay. There's a great management expert called Stephen Covey. he makes this statement, begin with the end in view. What is your end? Keep that end in view and now start working towards that. Step by step. The end can have 100 steps. That's not a problem. But begin with that. Am I making sense to you all? Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha dosha anudarshanam. This is an old value. It's not something new for it to be mentioned in the Gita. Yeah. Yeah. You live well only if you have confronted your death. Really, I'm not joking. So, and we don't think about death, you know. In fact, in Mahabharata, one of the Yudhishthira's father comes to him in disguise as a yaksha and asks him a series of questions. One of them is, what is the greatest wonder in the world? And you know what Yudhishthira answers? Every year, every day, we see people dying, going to Yama's abode. But we never think that we will be one of them. Even those of us who are scared of the Wuhan virus, Corona, even those of us who are scared of it, no, we won't die with it. You don't think. Within limits, that's a good thing because we don't want anyone to be paranoid about things. So that much is good. That much is good. But to be awareful, so what is there? Yeah, why am I wasting time? Every day is precious. What can I do today that will take me closer? Supposing someone is saying, I only have moksha at my goal now, nothing else. Good. Very good. So every day, spend lots of time in studies and things like that. Studies, japa, dhyanam, meditation. No, only one goal. Fair enough. No problems. Who said you should have a lot of goals? Yeah. So this will give you an idea of your priorities. From your priorities, now listen to this carefully. From your priorities, you will pick up your roles in life. Like many of people here picked up a role of being a partner to someone. Got married. Why? Because the priority was there. Physical and emotional companionship was important in your life. You may not have spelt it out, but it was there in your life. Yeah. Therefore, you have picked up that role. It was not that important to me, therefore I didn't pick it up. From your priorities will come your roles. In each of the roles, you have some goals to achieve. Don't tell your partner, I married you. No, abhi kya goal hai? To nurture each other, be there for each other, to support each other, emotional and physical intimacy, all that are goals in life. To spend time with each other. When career and children demand that time, can you make some time for each other? That's part of the goals. From the goals will come tasks. What you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Is health important to all of you? But you may not be able to exercise every day. Priority is health. It is based on what? Exercise, rest, nutrition. Correct? 3 major pillars. Exercise, rest, nutrition and calmness here. Nutrition you can take care on a daily basis. You better take care of it on a daily basis. Rest also, every day you need to get your 6 to 8 hours sleep. You can't change that. Exercise, are you going to plan to do everyday exercise? If it is a walk, yeah, you can do every day. Can you attend 7 days a week yoga classes? I don't think yoga teaches also to practice 7 days a week. So, instead of making it every day, use the week as the unit. Thrice a week I will do hard physical exercise. Okay, good. Thrice a week. It's manageable. Twice a week I'll spend exclusive time with my partner. Manageable. Other than commuting time, 8 to 10 hours a day I will give for my work, except Saturday, Sunday. Manageable. In fact, get your priorities right, then I'll show you all at some other time how much time you have on hand. All of you who have called me, wherever you send me a message saying, can I speak to you? What do I always say? Yeah, right away. Or I'll say I'm in a class or something. Which, right away, why? There's always time. If you are living your life by your priorities, there is always time. If you are not living your life by your priorities, you are running around like a headless chicken. You don't have time for anything. Why? You are doing what other people want you to do, not what you want to be doing. But Swamiji, we are not always on track. Doesn't matter. Do you know that 80% of the time the ship is not on track? But it reaches its goal all right. Because some wave will push it this way, some storm will push it that way. थोड़ा इधर उधर होता है. That's okay. You think people sail without a route or a destination chalked out? You know, when you were in school, we studied all this poetry, stupidity. I know not what the white hills are. I will take where the wind and the tide takes me. I will go where the wind and the tide takes me. It all sounds romantic, that's all. It is romantic nonsense. Nobody sails like that. Yeah. As someone who has sailed around the world, I know nobody sails like that. We all have very specific goals. Yeah. Otherwise, you will be drifting. You will not be sailing, you will be drifting. Yeah. So, have that. This value is meant to make you understand what is truly important in your life, in your functional life. So that when you focus on what is really important, you chop off what is not necessary. It's called pratyahara in yoga. You're focusing on what is important, not on what is not important. You're withdrawing from unimportant activities. But Swamiji, we need some relaxation in life, no? Of course, relaxation is very important. Focus on that important thing. Genuine relaxation. Not going, holding that.
The word pratyahara, what is the meaning of that?
Pratyahara is to withdraw from unnecessary things.
Okay.
At the seat of meditation, totally from everything. In life, from unimportant things. Relaxation is not holding that remote, TV remote in your hand and going from 1 to 500, 500 to 1. And cribbing about it. Nothing fun. No. Whatever you want to do which really relaxes you, do it. It's an important part of life. Part of your health priority. I mean, I bought in some elements of a workshop. There is a huge amount of it left, which we can see at some other time. Okay. But I would really like you all to think about these 4 people, what they would like to say and all. Get in touch with what's really important to you. Get in touch with your priorities. Okay. That will help. Because if you say there is only one priority, moksha, then I'll say, come. As soon as my ashram is getting ready, come, join me. Swamiji, we are not ready for that. Then get in touch with your priorities. What other things are important in your life? And then we will do it. Clear up to now? Okay, so good place to stop. Any doubts? Of course, next Saturday class, I'll see you all in the camp. Okay? See you all in the camp. I have not yet decided what text I am taking. In case you have any farmaish, you can always ask me, okay? This is why some of my batchmates will say, ये कैसा साधु था करके. Because some of them come from very orthodox backgrounds. Anyway, good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.